You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Sternberg Museum of Natural History, also by The Dentist.
Fort Hays State University's Sternberg Museum of Natural History invites you to experience Bringing Fossils to Life, their newest permanent exhibit under the dome. Meet a giant mosasaur and its living little relative, the Australian water monitor. Learn about evolutionary stasis with giant tortoises and discover the many ways fish made their way onto land with mud skippers. Experience all this and more at Fort Hays State University's Sternberg Museum of Natural History in Hays, Kansas.
Discovery under the dome.
Come discover a one-of-a-kind dental center for the whole family at The Dentist. Dr. Melinda Miner and Dr. Michael Holmberg and their warm and friendly staff love working with children of all ages to help keep everyone smile happy and healthy. They recommend children start seeing the dentist by age 1. The Dentist is now accepting new patients, children, and their families. Visit them at 1010 Downing Avenue in Hays or online at thedentistinhays.com.
Hello and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton and I'm the coordinator of early childhood grants for USD 489. And with me today is Susan Schlichting. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Dana.
Now first of all, Susan, tell us what organization you work for and what do you do there?
Sure, I work with K-State Research and Extension here in Ellis County, and I am the 4-H Extension Agent.
Now today we're going to talk about a specific program that you have at your organization, and it's called Clover Bud. So tell us a little more about the Clover Bud program.
Clover Buds is a relatively new part of the 4-H program in Kansas, but it is a program for 5- and 6-year-olds. And so it's really a neat opportunity to either to explore 4-H for the first time if you're new to the 4-H world and this is your oldest child, or a chance for younger brothers and sisters to come along with their older siblings to regular 4-H.
Now, so I guess that my next question is, what's the difference between, say, you've got an older sibling that's going to 4-H and then Clover Buds? What's the difference?
Well, there's several differences because a 5- and 6-year-old has different needs than a 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old. And so the program is really tailored to those 5- and 6-year-olds and their ability to not sit so long, the interest in listening to someone speak for a little while, those kinds of things. So what we do is we have at each of the 4-H clubs, we have different Clover Bud leaders, and they take those kids to a space in the meeting area and they read stories to them that are time appropriate, or they have them do activities that fit with a theme for the month or that kind of thing. And so they're doing hands-on learning through the course of the year while their older siblings are doing the regular 4-H meetings. And then when it comes time for county fair, they do what they call a Clover Bud display. And so they're not judged particularly, they're given some feedback and they get a chance to show and tell their projects to the judge.
Kind of get their feet wet in the county fair process.
They do, and competition isn't really appropriate for that age of 5 and 6, so giving them a chance to showcase their work and receive a special rainbow ribbon for doing it is a special thing. So
now you mentioned some of the different activities, so I guess more specific, what might what might be happening in Clover Bud this month?
This month, they probably will be thinking about Thanksgiving and maybe doing a story around that, or maybe making a turkey of some kind, or doing some kind of a craft that fits with that. Or as beautiful as the weather's been, if it's still nice, they may go outside and collect leaves and talk about nature and trees and some of those kinds of things. It really varies from club to club because each club leader is figuring out their own lessons. They've got a set of curricula to work from, but they really are tailoring it to their own club's needs and interests.
So pretty much lots of hands-on stuff.
Yes.
And I guess now, is this just for new 4-H members or just younger children?
This is just for younger children.
Okay.
It's for 5- and 6-year-olds only, and then once they reach that age of 7, they graduate into regular 4-H.
Okay, so now do Clover Bud, do they meet as frequently as a regular 4-H meeting?
In Ellis County, they meet at the same time as the regular 4-H meeting, so we're not adding another meeting to families' schedules. Families already are so busy. And so you come along with the older siblings if you've got them, and you meet in a special space in that that meeting room.
So is that once a week, once a month? How does that work?
It's a once a month thing. And most of the clubs meet year round, so they're just getting started. October 1 was the kickoff for the new 4-H year, so it's not too late to get started.
Okay.
But they do meet once a month, and usually December is a time for a party or celebration.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff going on.
And then in the winter months, they're doing some indoor projects. And
so what if you had someone who had like a 5 and 6 year old, or and maybe a 9 and 10 year old sibling who had never been involved in 4-H? Could they both come at the same time?
Absolutely.
For their first time?
Absolutely.
And get involved?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
I guess my other question is, something I ask a lot, how much will this activity cost a family?
Well, it depends on if you're just doing clover buds, there really isn't a fee. They may ask you to donate some cookies or some time to a project because some of the clubs do fundraisers like bake sales or that kind of thing. Other than that, there really isn't a charge. As you get older and get into regular 4-H, it depends on the projects you're taking.
Yes.
If you are taking a beef animal to the fair,
Yeah.
you've got some major investment in that, in buying the animal and buying the feed and caring for that animal. If you are
A knitter,
you've got your cost of your needles and your yarn. If you're doing foods, you've got the cost of the ingredients to bake, and it's how much you want to spend as a family. If you want your child to bake something once a week all year long, so they've practiced,
you buy some flour.
You've bought some flour
Yeah.
and you've made a major investment. So it really depends on the family, but right now there is not an enrollment fee to join 4-H. It is up to the individual families to decide how much they want to be involved and what they want to explore.
I guess my last question would be, where do people go? I mean, I know that there are different 4-H clubs around our community, so there's just not one localized place where they meet, but I'm sure there's one place that they can get more information about all the clubs.
Right, there are 8 clubs in Ellis County, and they meet at various locations all across the county, from Victoria to Ellis, up to Buckeye School, and down to the end of Tenino Church. So they're really scattered across our whole community. And some of them are project-oriented clubs, so like Shooting Sports has their own club, which does not have a Clover Bud branch. But
I can see that.
There's a horse club, and the horse club does have Clover Buds. And so there's just a variety of clubs and opportunities. And if you want to learn more about those and find out when they meet and how often, where, et cetera, you can contact us at our office at 601 Main Street, or you can go to our website at ellis.ksu.edu, and there's a whole page about how to join, what Clover Buds do, those kinds of things.
And we'll put that information on the bottom of our screen.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It sounds like a wonderful opportunity for kids in Ellis County.
It is. It's been a great growing project for younger members.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Oh, thank you, Dana.
You've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Sternberg Museum of Natural History, also by The Dentist.